Okay, so welcome everyone to the very first meeting of Pink Hats, where we will paint the world and Toastmasters in pink. So all of you know that pink is used by many organizations around the world to denote femininity and everything womanly, basically. So our Pink Hat sessions will be pink, totally, because we are amazing and we are the amazing women of District 122 TC. Since the beginning of time, women have had crucial role of nurturing, and I'm sure everyone in this room would agree. Nurturing humans, bringing up generations of sophisticated, well-rounded individuals. Doesn't that make us the natural talent pool? Naturally gifted people who instinctively know when to say what. Comfort people, push people to achieve their dreams. Now, being that natural, we have natural we are natural at achieving also. We have unique sensitivities. We have been blessed, and there is no chance that communication and leadership doesn't come easy to us. Yes, if you heard that first time or have been told that again and again that it doesn't come easy to you, rest assured leadership and communication does come easy to us. Well, if people tell you otherwise, they're just jealous of you. So here in this meeting, we will find new and unique solutions to learn new things. What to do with this talent? Should we waste it or just let it be? Or should we hone it? I doubt that's a good use of time and resources. Honing skill requires practice, and that is why the core team of Women's Committee sat down, brainstormed, deliberated through ways, thoughts, and brought to the stage a place where we can communicate more and be more of a leader. Pink Hats was born that way. Now, Pink Hats shall remain open to everyone, whether one is from a rural or an urban background, whether we work in an executive position or we just love to lounge on that sofa. As long as one has an internet connectivity and can pop into the monthly meetings, they can take up speech slots, take up meeting roles, even take up big four roles. Just let the core team know and then we will line you up. Our next meeting obviously will be around the same time next week, next month. So just let us know when if you would like to join us then also. How do how do you connect to the core team? Do you even know who they are? Let me give you a brief introduction of the core team. The core team consists of Toastmaster Anam Kadri. She was the third place winner in the international speech contest during the district annual conference in 2020. That was not a small feat considering that we had so many transitions to make from physical meetings to the online meetings. Then Toastmaster Aruj Rahat. She's currently the president of Ravi Toastmasters Club. She's also the assistant division program quality director. So to make that big title short, she looks after the whole education requirements of the a big division, Division A, and she makes sure that these are being fulfilled. Then we have Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. She is the admin manager of the district XCOM, and she looks after the entire administrative affairs from the top. Then we have Toastmaster Farwa Fatma. She is the CA brand ambassador and also a member of the ICAP Toastmasters Club during she was the member of the XCOM of the ICAP Toastmasters Club during 2019 to 2020. She has been very actively involved during the DTAC 20. Then we have Toastmaster Myra Ruba. She is currently the immediate past president of Professional Toastmasters Club at LUMS. She is a strong force at bringing her own individuality to the club. And then lastly, me. I am the president of Karachi Toastmasters Club and I am also the area director. So we can all be connected and you can talk to us anytime you want. Now, with that small introduction, let's begin the big show. Today, we will be having a lot of segments, and those segments will be run by one person. Let me call the MOC the TMOD, the powerhouse, the electrifying, quick-witted Toastmaster Vanya from Dow Toastmasters Club. I must tell you something very clearly about her. Toastmaster Vanya is a very tough competition. She weaves stories in minutes. She can make you think. Toastmaster Vanya, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arusa. That was very kind of you to say. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Pink Hats, ladies. And this time I will not be saying gentlemen. Without delaying, I will begin with the session. I have a small poem to share with you all, and I'll only be sharing my favorite verses, not in the order. The poem is called Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. It says, "You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? You may shoot me down with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Here's to strong women, maybe know them, maybe be them, and maybe raise them. Ladies and gentlemen, fix your crowns, for we are about to start the session. This meeting will have the following segments. First, we will be having the prepared speeches session in which the speakers will be doing their projects, followed by a table topic session, the most awaited session of the meeting. And then we will be having the evaluation sessions. Without further ado, let's move on towards the facilitators, because without facilitators, none of the meetings are successful. So first and foremost, we have Toastmaster Iram Gayas, who will be the word master of today. Do we have Toastmaster Iram Gayas with us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Toastmaster Iram, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the meeting. Toastmaster Iram is a lecturer in Dow University of Health Sciences. She is the president of Dow's IBHM Toastmasters Club Karachi. He likes to conduct Tarbiyah sessions for the youth and write personal and growth development articles. Toastmaster Iram, welcome to the meeting and please share the role explanation with us, the word master.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vanya. Today, I'm going to play the role of a word master, and the word of the day is immaculate. IMMACULATE. I'll write the word and the meanings also in chat box. Meanings are perfectly clean or tidy, clear, pure, free from fault and errors, spotless. Sentences are, she dressed in an immaculate white suit. Her house looks amazing with an immaculate garden. She was tall and slim, and her makeup was immaculate. So I would like to request all the speakers, role players, and guests to use this word of the day today. Thank you. It's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Iram, and don't we all look immaculate today? All right, without further ado, let's move on to the grammarian, Toastmaster Arisha Ahmed, who will also be playing the role of vote counter. Toastmaster Arisha Ahmed is a member of Ravi Toastmasters Club. She is a student and loves to play the piano and indulge in social work. Toastmaster Arisha, first I would like you to explain the role of grammarian and then the role of vote counter.
Okay, thank you, Vanya. As I'll be the grammarian today, I'll be checking for your grammar, your use of tenses, vocabulary, things like that. And at the end, I'll be reporting back to you. And as a vote counter, at the end of each segment of prepared speeches, table topics, evaluations, there'll be a voting from all the members and guests. And at the end, I'll be presenting my report. Thank you, Vanya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arisha. And then we have our super grammarian, and this role will be played by Toastmaster Arusa Kabul. Toastmaster Arusa is the president of KTC, also area director, Division B, and one of the most sweetest people I know. in Toastmasters fraternity. So Toastmaster Arusa, please let us know the role of super grammarian.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. My role as the super grammarian is testing you for your listening skills. I will be noting down some interesting phrases used by the speakers over here, and I will be asking you right in the end who said what. Let's see how smartly you guys are listening. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we have our counter, Toastmaster Sarah Naseem. Toastmaster Sarah Naseem is the secretary of Ravi Toastmasters Club Lahore. She is a philanthropist and cares for the well-being of the society. Toastmaster Sarah, are you with us? We would like to know the explanation of the role counter.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here, first of all. Today, first of all, I'm sorry I cannot put up my picture. I don't know why. I tried, but I could not. Today, I'm playing the role of the counter, and I'll be taking notes of all the filler words and sounds we use during our speech, like things like that. I'll be taking account, and later on, I'll be presenting my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarah. Next, we have the timer, and the role of the timer will be played by Toastmaster Khushbakht. Toastmaster Khushbakht is the secretary of CA Toastmasters Peshawar, and ladies, she is the first female Toastmaster from her city. Timer, Toastmaster Khushbakht, please explain the role.
Assalamu alaikum to all the beautiful fellow dear Toastmasters. This is Khushbakht Fatima from Peshawar CA Toastmasters Club. And today I am allotted the role of timer. Due to some issues with my laptop, I'm really very sorry. I couldn't place the correct frequency that the timer is supposed to do, but I tried to fix it manually with a source that I have in my hand. Being a timer, as you all know from the agenda, the allocated time that is designated to all the roles. Firstly, I would like to explain all the three colors. The green would indicate when half of your time is done. Hope it's visible to all of you. Is it visible?
Yes.
The green color
Yes, it's
would
visible.
indicate when half of your time is done. The blue would indicate when you are done with your allotted time. And since we all know we have been given a grace period of 30 seconds, so when the grace period is gone, you would be indicated by this pink or reddish or maroonish color. So after the, when it's visible, so it's an indication that you need to stop. So hope I'm clear with all my colors. Over to you, Toastmasters of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Khushbakht. And we conclude with the role players after Toastmaster Khushbakht. And now we move on to the prepared speeches session. The first speaker for today's session is Toastmaster Arusa Khalil, who will be evaluated by Toastmaster Iram Ghayas. Toastmaster Iram Ghayas, please let us know the details of Toastmaster Arusa's project.
TM Wania,
Yes.
did you miss out on the Joke Master?
Oh, yes, the Joke Master. Apologies. The Joke Master, we have Toastmaster Saman Vasai. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
No, you're not. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's Vase, please. It's Saman Vase.
Saman
And
Vasai.
good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Okay, my joke is, a man shocked by how his buddies dressed asked him, "How long have you been wearing that bra?" The friend replies, "Ever since my wife found it in the glove compartment."
Toastmaster Fania, are you there? Toastmaster Vanya, can you hear us?
Yes. My connection is unstable.
Oh,
I could not hear the joke.
yeah. Toastmaster someone is done, so you can continue.
He's done? Okay, okay. All right, so I hope my network works this time, and we move on to the prepared speeches session. First speaker we have is Toastmaster Arusa Kaval, who will be evaluated by Toastmaster Iram Gayas. Toastmaster Iram, please share the details of Toastmaster Arusa's project.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vania. Today, I am going to evaluate the Toastmaster Urusa Kamal. Toastmaster Urusa Kamal is about to deliver her level 3 project from Presentation Mastery, Connect with Storytelling. The title of her speech is Barriers Are Equal to Fear. The purpose of her speech is to incorporate storytelling skills in her speech. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Iram. Toastmaster Arusa, barriers are equal to fears. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening and dear evaluator. At a recent Toastmasters meeting, I found myself scribbling on my notepad. Barrier is equal to fear. I wrote it, then stared at it. Long enough for me to try to make some sense out of it. My mind was reeling at that moment. I had realized I had had the privilege of being so fearless because I had no barriers. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let me tell you what had happened. I was listening to a very, very insightful speech by a potentially good speaker who was talking about his life. He talked about how he had learned to speak English. And I remembered my days in school as a kid, probably in grade 2, 3, 4, 5. He spoke with so much emotion how his barrier to the English language had stilled an enormous amount of social fear that I couldn't help but wonder, why? His fear had hampered his ability to be socially acceptable, and to just move across, he had to overcome a perceived barrier that is called English. While listening to him, I recalled my time as a young child in my primary classes, where I was surrounded by foreign kids speaking the most foreign languages, having the most foreign hairstyles. I remember them having a group, us having a group, groups based on languages. I remember these groups being impenetrable, unless language was understood between these groups. But one thing I did not recall, fear. I never looked forward to my English classes as something to be conquered. I can tell you my mom came from a background where English was taught in the 7th grade. And naturally, she wanted English speaking kids, if you catch my drift. But I don't recall anyone telling me to buzz off because they could not understand my words. And then as I thought further, why didn't I have barriers? Although these were evidently there, don't you guys also? After thinking, the simplest answer I received was pretty mathematical. Since everyone was foreign, maybe they were all scared of being picked on, so a sense of equal fear cancelled out everything. That would be one. Or maybe the barrier called English was an equal barrier to everyone. So the language won on all accounts. Or maybe there was someone being picked on and I just didn't know. That is one more thing also. But don't you think it's even more simpler than this? Maybe there is no barrier. Any object that we as a society prioritize becomes important irrespective of its intrinsic value. Languages should have a functional role. And many in our society have awarded some of them the role of status, honor, totally on the top. It is fashionable to speak English and speak it in an accent. It is a status of symbol. Oh, sorry, a symbol of status. So I sat back and reached a conclusion. As kids, we did not have any ego. We didn't care about the wow factor. We didn't care who spoke what language. We were just groups speaking our own mother tongue. Language was just functional, and the best that we used to communicate among the groups were words that were chopped up, grammar that was obnoxious, and sentences that would have made Shakespeare the happiest man on earth, and probably Wordsworth would have curled up and died again. Language was just fun for us. We enjoyed speaking our own version of it. We just didn't care. Do you guys think that there is still a barrier we need to be fearful of or be ashamed of? I think not. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Urusa. Next, we have Toastmaster Asma Kampwala. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rabia Khan. Toastmaster Rabia, please let us know the details of Toastmaster Asma's project.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vania. Toastmaster Asma will be delivering her second project from level 1. Her pathway is presentation mastery, and the project's objective is evaluation and feedback. So this will be the first speech of evaluation, where she'll receive the feedback and incorporate into another speech which she will deliver in the next meeting. And her topic is cancers in Pakistan. Her time is 5 to 7 minutes. Now over to you, Toastmaster Asma.
Toastmaster Asma, cancers in Pakistan. And please let me know if you can view the timer. Can you see the timer on your screen? Toastmaster Khushbakht.
Khushbakht will actually show the charts. I think that will do. That will help. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Toastmasters, the president, and I don't think that we have any guests. The topic that I want to discuss today is basically cancer patients in Pakistan. The reason why I chose this topic is that I work for a pharmaceutical distribution company, and one of the principals has certain oncology products, and they're also running some CSR programs, etc. So there are so many cases that actually come to our notices, and then we try to help them out, sort out their issues. So this is something that is really close to my heart, and that's why I just want to share my views with you. Okay. I need to share a presentation. I'm not able to share it. Can I share my screen?
Yeah,
Could you make Asma the co-host?
Yes, I'll make it. Now it should work, TM Asma. Will you please try and tell me?
Yeah, sure. I'll just take you through the slide. First at the beginning of my presentation, I would want you to just go through some statistics. Basically, around every year, we have roughly 180 lakh 80,000 cancer new cases, around 1 lakh 20,000 deaths that are reported from cancer, and the prevalent cases are 3 lakh 10,000. We all know that when we talk about statistics in Pakistan, usually these statistics are only those cases which have actually been reported. There are many cases that are never reported, that do not even receive the treatment. So we need to understand firstly that these are the statistics that have actually been reported. When we look at the chart by the cancer, which cancers are prevalent more in Pakistan, we see that the breast cancer is the highest, most common cancer in Pakistan, which is basically 19.6% as per the statistics. One thing more that we always understand that the breast cancer is only related to females, but this can happen even to males. So although the number of cases of breast cancer in males is very low, this cancer is most prevalent in females. When we look into, because this was a Pink Hats session, so I just zoomed more into the female statistics. According to the female statistics, around 38-39% of the females who are actually reportedly having cancers have the breast cancer. It is followed by lip and oral cavity, cervix, and of course there are many other cancers. What we really need to know is that when a cancer is detected in a younger age, the multiplication of the cancers much more. When cancer is identified and discovered in an old age person, the cancer progresses somewhat slowly. This also depends from cancer to cancer. For instance, in like kidney cancers, or because we also have a doctor, she can also correct me if I'm wrong, but some sort of cancers, they progress very rapidly. It can be blood cancers and it can be kidney cancers as well. So the important thing here is that the diagnosis is done well in time. The earlier cancer is detected, there is more chance that the life can be saved. Now, I just want you to take you through the issues that cancer patients have in Pakistan. Okay, the problem that we have is that in Pakistan, most of the people are really not aware of we do not go to doctors, we do not get ourselves regularly checked. So therefore the prevalence is there's the chance is more that the cancers are diagnosed only at a later stage. And if the cancers are diagnosed at stage 1 or 2, there's a very high chance that the life can be saved. The other issue that in Pakistan is that there are only few hospitals and institutions in Pakistan versus the number of patients that are coming in every day. For instance, as per the statistics, every other institute should have 16,000 patients, cancer patients every time. So this is a very huge number when we compare it with the number of institutes. Of course, every institute has maybe maximum on a big institute might have, say, 500 beds. But the thing is that the resources versus the disease, there's a big gap, huge gap. Other thing is that the expensive treatment. Most of the cancer drugs are basically being imported, and the pricing is too high. Even for a medium family, people they find it. They think that they probably might have to sell off their properties, and they have to get a person treated. On the patient side, it's of course a very painful treatment. It has its own impacts on the body. And of course, at times, the problem is that we also have this issue of disparity in Pakistan. For instance, if the patient is a bread earner, probably the family would be more inclined to get that patient treated. When it comes for a female, parents think that, okay, particularly in the rural areas, they think that maybe they should not have them treated. So there is a lot of disparity that's going on in Pakistan. patient's issues is also that the patients also face this issue that apart from the expensive treatment and all, they also face this issue that once a person gets to know that the person has cancer, the biggest issue is that they just lose hope. The hope is something that keeps you going, whether you're a patient, whether you're not a patient. This is something that can really help you in any case. So if the person is ill and terminally ill, and the person also loses hope, then this problem becomes even more greater. Now, to my last slide, I would only say that what role we can play to these people is that firstly, for ourselves, we need to look into the science and just get ourselves regularly checked. Number two, what we really would want from ourselves would be that how we can help any cancer patient. Saving a life means saving humanity. So we all needs to chip in, and that's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asma. Last but not the least, we have Toastmaster Aruj Rahat, President of Ravi Toastmasters Club and Assistant Division Director, Program Quality. Toastmaster Aruj will be evaluated by Toastmaster Anam Qadri. Toastmaster Anam, can we have the details of Toastmaster Aruj's project?
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Aruj is going to deliver her project on the panel discussion, which is level 5. And in this, she's going to discuss, she'll have a group of panelists, and her topic of the discussion is balancing life. Her time limit is 15 to 20 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Aruj. Best of luck.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anam. It's an honor to be here and to host this panel of amazing ladies. Today, the topic...
Toastmaster Aruj, the time limit is 15 to 20 minutes or 20 to 22 minutes?
20 to 22. At least 20 minutes, that's the minimum limit.
All right, all right.
Am I audible and visible properly?
Yes, perfectly.
Thank you so much. Today, the panel discussion, the topic is balancing life. We're talking about life in general and every aspect of life, whether you're dealing with a work, your job, your career, your hobbies, your personal development, or just your grooming. It's every aspect of life when you're socializing, when you're dealing with people, your kids, your family, how you're managing each and every aspect, and how you're balancing that. For ladies, it's particularly very important because we are connected and linked with home and family much more than men. And it's very, very much important for us to balance everything, each and everything. And for that, I have a group of panelists who are some amazing women who have achieved so much in their lives. And I would love to ask them how they managed to deal with it and how they managed to bring balance in their life and achieve such great heights. First of all, I would like to introduce my panelists. Our first panelist is Dr. Asma Shahid Qazi. She is an assistant professor at Lahore College for Women University, and she's a founder and organizer at TEDx LCWU. The second panelist is Toastmaster Jaya Jaggi. She is a member of ICAP Islamabad. And third panelist is Ms. Fajr Rabia Pasha. She's an entrepreneur and she is working and leading a group of women by a name called PAGE. It's for Pakistan Alliance for Girls Education. She's working at so many things and she is helping, she's an influencer and she's an activist. Our fourth panelist is Ms. Gulzeba Jawad. She is a fashion designer and she is running a multi-designer store in Islamabad. And she is working at a social enterprise called Hamkar. So moving on with our panel discussion, I would like to ask my panelists how they brought balance in their lives. So Miss Fajr Rabia Pasha, how do you define balance in life? You're not audible, sorry, Miss Fajr.
Would you please unmute yourself?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here today. It's a, I think, very, very important topic, and especially, from women's perspective, I think, balancing life is something so important because what tends to happen is women, especially who are working, who have dreams, who want to do something, who wants to achieve something in life, tend to take on so much more responsibility and so much more burden that they have to shoulder to be able to justify what they're doing or they can do, for example, right? So what we tend to do is we lose that balance in life in trying to, trying to tell the world that we are able to do things as well. We are generally what we find is even in corporate sector, in development sector, in politics, wherever we go, we see is what we see is that women have to justify their role, right? Especially the more higher up you go, the more justification you have to do, because there's just this whole concept that women are not able to do much, or they're not capable of doing it. And that's why balancing, I think, we tend to lose that sight that we really need to make sure that we need to keep that balance there for our own selves more than anything. It's like, when you're in a plane and God forbid there's a problem, and when the oxygen mask drops, you are supposed to put the oxygen mask on yourself and then your children and your family. And the whole concept is that you need to be able to take care of yourself first, and then you can take care of people around you, your family, your community, your children, whoever that may be. And I think, and it took me quite a while as well in terms of finding that balance. When I started off my first social enterprise, and that's, I think, good 17, 18 years back. So I used to work like crazy because I had a passion, right? I really wanted to develop my social enterprise. I had a vision. I wanted to do things, and I would work day and night. I wouldn't see if it's nighttime, if it's daytime. I would put kids to bed and I would be working again. I would be just on my laptop doing things, and it was just a nonstop cycle, right? Nonstop cycle. And that's when, I did that for some time. And I did really well. I mean, it was like, you're working twice the amount of work that a normal person would do. That helped me a lot in terms of my work, my career, and it flourished really, really well, alhamdulillah. But I also started to, feel tired. I didn't feel that I'm giving enough time to my children, for example. I felt like, I felt I wanted to create that balance. I wanted to give myself time. And that's where I created rules for myself, right? And that meant, for example, that after 5 o'clock, I would not take any work calls, regardless of whatever happens. Unless it's an emergency, I would not take any phone calls. I changed my phone number as well, and I would just turn my phone off, right? And that really, really helped me in terms of starting to create that balance within, for myself, and making sure that I'm giving my time, enough time to myself as well, and to my children, right? And I was a single, and I would like to mention, because it's such an important topic, and I think, for women, this is something really important. I was a single mom in England, right? So I had 2 babies. So I had complete responsibility of generating income, and as well as taking care of the family, and being there for your children emotionally, being there to make sure that all their needs are met. So all of that has to be done, and has to be done properly, so you're not missing out yourself as well, right? And your children are not missing out, and your work is not missing out as well. So creating, I think, creating rules, I think that's
That is such a that is such an amazing thing, that about the challenges that you faced. So moving on to the next panelist, Mrs. Zeba Gulzeba, how did you deal with the challenges that were there while you were trying to bring balance in your life?
Thank you, Aruj. I would say that every time and every era has its own demands, right? What we are used to do, we are trying to do that. Okay, whenever somebody is looking at me right now, they will never see the struggle of the last 2 decades, which is attached to what I am right now. So that is the reason why we are actually very, very judgmental, extremely judgmental as a society. So what happens is that whenever we look at someone who is
successful?
I hope I'm not that.
This is another challenge that ladies face.
So whenever you see someone successful, as in the start of this century was very when I started off the journey, like 2001 I did my MBA, 2002 my father died, 2003 I got married, 2004, 5, 6 I had 3 children, and 2003 I started off the business also. You can imagine that I have 3 consecutive children and the business and the sasural. So yeah, I have to manage, and that balance was extremely difficult. But I tried my best that whatever I can possibly do. And as Fajr said, that we were on the toes all the time. What we could not justify was only us, because while justifying the society, the family, the business, everything, we could not justify us. Okay, what we need was missing. Where is my time? That was missing. So in that case, I would say that it's extremely important to prioritize yourself, to actually have an idea that, okay, family is important, but you cannot take your business or your job or whatever you are doing as a side activity or a hobby. So you have to take both sides very seriously. Most of the time when I am working with different women entrepreneurs forums, and I am working with the chamber, and we see around women entrepreneurs, and they're whenever they have to sacrifice one thing, that is their business. Whenever they have to sacrifice one thing, that is their job. Whenever they have to sacrifice one thing, in trying to justify every other thing, trying to create the balance on the other side, what they do is they sacrifice themselves, or whatever they like, or whatever their passion was, or whatever they want to do. So in that case, I would say that in challenges I would say that taking initiative is very important. Some things which actually helped me in last 2 decades. Creating a network is very important. Creating a support circle is very important. Whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, whether it's anyone, it can be your neighbors, it can be anything, it can be you all, right? So you all are trying to get engaged with each other and learn something new. I would love to be a part of the club, inshallah, next time. Whenever you have the class, do let me know. So that is very important. Next, once we are done with the studies, it's like that, okay, we are done with the learning part. So we don't have to learn more. I think every single day you should learn something. And it's not important that it's something, Jeff Bezos or Steve Jobs or unhi se aapne seekhna hai. It's that you can learn from anyone, even the domestic help in your family, even the labor which is working with you, even your friend circle, whoever is doing whatever. Everyone has a story, everyone has a background, everyone has a struggle around.
Yes.
You can learn from each other.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Ms. Gulzeba. And while you're talking about learning, it reminds me that our next panelist, Dr. Asma Shahid Qazi, she didn't do a job for 20 years while she was raising her kids. She has 4 children, and Dr. Asma did her PhD during that time. She increased her education, and by the time she was ready, her children were ready to go to school. She had completed her PhD. And Dr. Asma, would you like to comment on that? What you did back then to bring balance in your life?
Now when I reflect back, thank you so much. And it's really inspirational, hearing from all of you. And after hearing from everyone's unique perspective, I realize everyone's life has a different path. So, balancing for everyone is going to be very different. We cannot generalize it for others. Like in my case, I was born after 20 years after my brother. So my parents were old by the time I was 20, and they were keen to get me married off. So I got married right after my graduation, had my children, and my mother was, not young enough to take care of the grandchildren. So that was my duty only. So I used to be in Karachi when I got married. And then when I had 2 children, I moved to Lahore. So I had done my Montessori diploma, and I started teaching here in a school. And then once my younger son got chickenpox and he had to stay at home, and I didn't have anybody to take care of him. So I took leave, and the principal of the school was furious that, you have to come to school. And I said, I can't leave a sick child behind at home with nobody to attend him. And she was like, bring him to school. And I was like, that's so unfair to the child and to the other children. So that's when I decided that till my children are old enough to be left at home and to take care of themselves on their own, I'm going to just, focus on my family and enjoy my family life instead of being stressed out that, who am I going to leave the child on and how will I manage birth and how will. So I just, focus then on self-development. So fortunately for me, for a year, my husband was away for a job. And I was very passionate. I was very interested to hear when Iram was talking about tarbiyah. That is something I wanted my children to be raised as good Muslims. So I started, because I'd done my Montessori diploma, looking up things which I could come up with, how to educate them. And in the process, I became associated with a school, which was an Islamic school, weekend Islamic school, developed material for them and published a book, which was something very coincidental. So by accident, I just landed up in the field of education. And once I had published, and that was being used by so many schools, I decided that as I have my children, I'll just pursue my studies. And so time flew by and I managed to do my PhD. And probably the only balance I kept was I tried to, distinguish between my time and the children's time. I would, whatever task there was, still, the children were put to bed, their homework was done, whatever needed to be taken care of. I would start my work after that or before they are up. So yes, it is difficult and it does require sacrifice, but then that's where I think we are successful. As women, we are resilient. We have the capability to balance a lot of things. And each of us in our own unique life journey, I think have struck that balance to be here today at this forum.
Thank you so much, Dr. Asma. And moving on to the next panelist, that is Toastmaster Jaya Jaggi. You are young and you have your whole life ahead of you. What are you thinking? How do you manage, how do you intend to bring balance in your life?
Thank you, Toastmaster Rujahat. First of all, I would like to greet every beautiful Wonder Woman in this meeting. Good evening, everyone. I am blessed with a beautiful family, and I believe every woman who has been able to made up to this meeting was able to do this just because she had a beautiful family who helped her to be there. I believe my mother, my siblings, they have supported me, as I won't be able to make it to every Toastmasters meeting or to every event happening in the town. And yes, I am balancing all the aspects of my life, including my studies, my home, my relations, my job, the new skills I want to learn, and yes, my health, physical and mental as well. And one thing I really want to mention over here is that Toastmasters has helped me a lot. Toastmasters is such an amazing initiative. It's such an amazing global community that helps you with every aspect of your life. I would encourage each and every one to be a part of this amazing community because it helps you with your communication skills. That is really evident, but it also helps you in time management. It tells us how do we have to manage time. It tells us how we can resolve conflicts, whether at our workplace or in our personal lives. It also helps us to improve our leadership skills, as we women are, I believe, blessed to be women and we are inborn leaders, but somehow the society is unable to see that leadership qualities, and this is the reason some women are pulled. But this platform can definitely help you to showcase the world how beautiful leaders you are and how you can lead the world better than any other gender. Over to you, Toastmaster Rahat.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya Jaggi. My next question is with Mrs. Fajr Rabia Pasha. How do you think that the society, the government, and the females can help each other bring balance in each other's lives?
I think to start with, I'll start with ourselves. And when we're talking about that network, that support network that we all need to have around us, I think that needs to be there to keep us on the right path. Because I would go back to this again and again, that we women tend to drain ourselves out, right? We really, because we take on too much, because we have to, we're supposed to take care of the children, we're supposed to take care of the house, we're supposed to cook, supposed to clean, we're supposed to do everything. And then when we have, and like Gul has said, and I really agree with Gul that, and unfortunately what I've seen around is as well, that a lot of time when we're speaking to women entrepreneurs or women in general, then what we find is that they always put their passion on the side because they are taking, and nothing wrong with taking care of your family and raising your children. I'm a mother of 5 as well, and I love my children to bits, right? But it's striking that balance between what you want to achieve as well, and how do you manage raising your children and taking care of family as well. So that's where your support network comes in. I think, that's where your close friends and family comes in, because they need to be able to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as well, right? And you need to do the same for them. As for government is concerned, I think that government can play a very, very important role, because government can do mass awareness raising, right? Women, like I said, the higher up you go, the more justification you have to give of your skills, of your dreams, of whatever you want to do, right? So the government has to take up that role where massive awareness raising is done in the institutions particularly, so women are not expected to go that extra mile at workplace. So they have to, justify their own roles. And that is something so important, because we need to create that ease for women. We live in a society where we're expected to do all of that. We're expected to take care of the children. That's just a natural responsibility. That's completely un-Islamic, though. I mean, if we go into religion, we know that our Prophet, peace be upon him, took care of the house and contributed within the household as well, just like his wives. But in Pakistan, due to our cultural reasons, women are expected to do that. And that's the case pretty much with every single woman that I have ever spoken to who's also working. So I think, it's very important that, these awareness raising sessions are done. And that's not just between the women. The men have to be engaged in these conversations, because that awareness raising, and it's not going to
That's right. That's right, Ms. Fajal. That's a very good point. And that's a very good point. And Mrs. Gulzeba, what do you think how important it is that the family support is important, or the person's own determination is important in order to achieve something in life?
Motivation is something which can never be forced, right? So in case your own dedication and your own passion and your own motivation is there, and then the family can support you. But family cannot actually force you, okay, go and start doing this, go and start doing this. On the other side, when somebody meet me and they ask me about that, okay, how does the chamber helps you? Okay, how does this forum helps you? No one gives you anything in the plate. So you have to kind of find out your ways, and you have to kind of find out that balance, and you have to kind of find out that support around you. No one is coming to you and saying, okay, I will support you, do whatever you want to do, right? I'm going to, in politics, and everybody's going to say, I'll support you. But, everywhere you have to see so many different faces also. In this, as Rusa said, that we didn't have any ego, and we didn't have that wow factor when we were child, right? But now when we see around, somehow in this, society, we have actually developed that ego factor in us. We have actually developed that judgmental factor in us. I strongly believe, and I actually recently started practicing it, like 5-6 years back. As Dr. Asma said, I took a gap of about 7 years when my children were young. And obviously closing the business after about 6 years of hardcore effort was not easy. But again, I think at that time, at that era, at that moment, that was important, that I had to raise my kids, So maybe that actually, but the point is that I didn't stop. I didn't stop. I didn't rely, okay, my husband is working, that's fine. I can actually enjoy and go to the committee parties and chill around. And I could have actually done that. I have so many friends around which are doing that. It's not really easy that you're doing 2 businesses. It's not really easy that you are working like on so many different volunteer forums. It's not really easy that you're kind of trying to balance, I'm living in in-laws. To add on to this, my father-in-law is Anwar Masood. So being a famous poet, we have like so much hospitality around, and so many guests coming in, so many people coming in for them. But again, I would say that it's very important that keep going is very, as Iqbal said, I'm learning Persian these days, although it's a session of English. Hastam agar meeravam, garna ravam nistam. That moving around is very important, that you have to keep moving yourself. You have to, like, learning should not stop, your moving should not stop, your passion should not stop, and your motivation should not stop. And on the other side, as Dr. Asma said, that I kind of self-groomed myself. That is very important, that you kind of self-groom yourself by learning different techniques. You should be open to learning every single time. My husband says to me that, okay, हर रोज Zoom पे तुम क्या कर रही होती हो? whatever somebody is sending to you, you kind of join the session. Why? And I am like, okay, whatever I'm listening to somebody, whenever I'm listening to someone's experience or some speech or something, I get to know something new which I didn't know before. So that actually helps me when I'm talking to someone. That actually helps me when I'm going somewhere. I work with different organizations as consultant also. But again, when I tell someone, okay, I'm doing this and this and this and this, and then they consider, okay, ye to yahi karti hogi iske alawa, you know, or she is not able to manage the family and so. But alhamdulillah, I'm trying to strike that balance, and alhamdulillah, as I said, nobody is going to give anything in your plate. So you have to earn that plate. You have to earn that by yourself.
And that's a great point, Mrs. Gulzeba, that as we say in Urdu, harkat mein barkat hai. And that's a very important point. And Dr. Asma Shahid Kazi, would you please elaborate that now you have raised your kids, and even some of your kids are married now. So how do you think that balancing life is like in that part of life?
I think one needs to relax and accept things as they come. Initially, I used to fret about each and everything happening and plan too much. And over the period of time, I've realized to let things flow, let things happen as they're happening, and to enjoy the moment the way it is now. And initially, when I started work, I was, over ambitious, trying to get things work done ahead of time and always trying to be a perfectionist. So I realized everything, happens in its stride because you have that basic capability. And I was very fortunate. We were talking about support systems here, that my boss was very helpful and kind. And initially my son was, as soon as I started a job, he had a fracture and she allowed me to work from home. So I was like in university till 1 o'clock, and then I used to manage everything from home. So, I learned that things are workable as long as you are, aapki niyat sahi hai, let's say. Everything falls in line. So instead of fretting about things, this is how I want, you need to accept things the way they move on and try to look at the brighter side of things. That's also the positive aspect. Developing a positive outlook is extremely important, because if you are constantly judging yourself and, being too hard on yourself, you will never be happy with whatever you achieve. So it's a mindset actually that you acquire over time.
That's right. Great thought, Dr. Asma. And moving on to Toastmaster Jaya Jaggi. Toastmasters is all about bringing out the communication and leadership skills in people. And it's not just about becoming a public speaker, it's about grooming your communication skills. And leadership is not just there at the office, it's even there at home when you're dealing with your family and your kids and you're bringing up and you're taking care of the home. So what do you think the Toastmasters is doing? And it's providing women with the opportunity. What do you think that Toastmasters is helping women in this regard and bringing balance in their lives?
Toastmaster has my heart. Few days back, I asked my sister, Mom, if you allow me, let me get membership of Toastmasters for you. And she was looking at me like, Ja, are you serious? And I told her, Mom, you are going to love it, because she keeps on reading books. And I said, Mom, just attend the meeting once. You will love the environment. This is actually the magic of Toastmasters. And yes, I agree with the statement that it does not help us in the leadership skills that we are required in our professional lives, but also in our daily communication. Now, even when I'm not talking to any Toastmasters, when I'm talking to my clients, when I'm talking to my friends, I am very considerate about my words. I'm very thoughtful about how I am going to ask them for something. I do not definitely tell people, do this. I ask them, try doing that. And this is something Toastmaster has told me, that how you have to communicate with the people so they do not feel bad, overburdened, forced, or they do not feel dictated. And this is very important aspect of communication. And I believe most of the miscommunications, most of the conflicts are due to the words we say to each other, because we are not considerate, and sometimes we do not understand that it might impact other person in a different way, because we all have different lens to see our things. So this is something Toastmasters has helped me. And trust me, every woman in my vicinity, I tell them they do join this club. I miss my lunch, I miss my dinner, but I do not miss Toastmasters meeting because this has taught me how to manage my life. And when I talk about leadership skills, it has given me that leadership position. Currently, I'm leading a club, having men and women under me in my team. So it actually helps you to refine your leadership skills as a woman and to show that being a woman, you can definitely lead a club in a very effective way. And not only the club, it gives you an opportunity to lead your districts, your divisions, and then it gives you an opportunity to exhibit those skills outside Toastmasters community. For example, you're doing social work, you are in a hospital, or anything you do. So every woman who is here, I would like to give you a message. Do what your heart says, and then also create safe spaces for all women. And what else you can create? A Toastmasters club, that is Pink Hats. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya. It's such an amazing panel discussion. I'm truly loving it, but we've run short of time and we've run out of time actually. And I would like to thank my panelists, Ms. Gulzeba, Ms. Fajr Rabia Pasha, Dr. Asma Shahid Qazi, and Toastmaster Jaya Jagi for taking out your precious time and giving us so many advices and sharing your thoughts, sharing your life stories. And you're truly inspiring women. And we loved you. We loved having you, loved hearing from you. And we love to see you again, inshallah. So here's hoping that everyone learned a lot, and we will be applying these lessons, such important stories that we learned, such important thoughts that we learned through this panel discussion in our lives and create much more balance in our lives. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Vanya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aruj. That concludes the prepared speeches session. Now we will be moving on towards the table topic session. As we move on towards that, I would like to request the timer to let us know of the qualifications.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. The evening, the timer actually has some connectivity issues. So I asked her if everyone was qualified, and everyone is qualified. So if we can float the poll.
Yes, so since all the speakers have qualified, we will have the voting done. Vote counter, please let us know if you will be releasing a link or we are supposed to send our votes through private chat. How are we rolling?
We will be floating a poll, a Zoom poll, and
right.
people will be voting through that.
Okay.
Toastmaster Arisha requested that everybody should send in an individual votes to her.
Okay. All right.
Everyone, let's have a 2-minute break. In the meanwhile, we'll send our votes and the Azan will conclude. All right, so I suppose everyone has voted, and we will move on towards table topic session. And before that, I would like to request all the members who are present here to rename themselves, your name and your club name, so that it's easier for the table topics master to call you out, to recognize who she's calling, basically. So rename yourselves, your name, and then your club name, like Vania Madabasi, Dal's IBHM Toastmasters Club. So moving on to the session officially, Toastmaster Meher Tanveer is a diligent member from Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club. She's a senior math teacher who loves to read, write, and she enjoys public speaking. Let me know something. Let me tell you something. She's the kind of person who can make you smile through her text Now imagine what it would be like when you meet her personally. So without further ado, over to Toastmaster Meher Tanveer.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster Vanya Ahmed Abbasi. I hope I am fully audible and visible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. And thank you for that marvelous and generous introduction. I loved interacting with you as well. And in fact, I can think of no one better to introduce me as the Table Topics Master than the Table Topics District Champion herself. I am honored. My fellow pink hats, inspirational trailblazers, delightful dreamers, and amazing Wonder Women. Hasn't this just been a highly motivating and encouraging and informative session? Such a wonderful afternoon. Please show some love for yourselves with a warm round of applause for the participants. So we have heard some wonderful words of wisdom from the panelists and the prepared speakers. And it's true, no doubt. There is nobody else that I can think of, nobody that plays more roles and wears more virtual hats than the feminine gender. We are caregivers, mothers, chefs, friends, wives, teachers, drivers, therapists, nurses, family referees, and career women, all rolled into one. It's a huge job. And no doubt that we experience a myriad of emotions, opinions, and sentiments as we pursue our rainbow of dreams. I want to further explore the wonderful ladies that I am interacting with, the beautiful women, and get to know you a little more deeply. And what better platform than Table Topics Forum? So to introduce the session for our new guests, of course, the Toastmasters already know about the session. As per the format, I will be selecting anyone at random, but don't worry, you only have to give a short speech on a thought-provoking topic that I will share with you for 1 to 2 minutes. After 1 minute, the timer will show you a green card, and after 2 minutes, the timer will show you a red card. You will then be given a grace period of 30 seconds to round up and conclude your speech. So please be sure to conclude your speech in order to avoid disqualification. Just a reminder that the word of the day is immaculate. And I'm just sharing my presentation with you all. So fasten your seatbelts for the best of all, much awaited segment, the final flourish, crux of the biscuit, cherry on the cake, Pink Hats Table Topic session. My first participant for the day, I would like to call upon Dr. Asma Shahid Kazi. Dr. Asma Shahid Kazi, your topic is, or rather before that, I would like to request you to pin the timer. The timer is now Toastmaster Arusa Kawal.
Okay, I was not ready for this. Let me just settle down. I had moved off. Yeah, sure.
It's just a friendly interaction.
No issues.
So I hope you have pinned the timer, Toastmaster Arusa Kawal.
I can see her. Yeah.
Okay, great. Dr. Asma, I would like to hear from you on this topic. Your topic is, what do you feel are the most important things to live a great life? What do you feel are the most important things to live a great life? Dr. Asma Shahid Kazi.
Thank you so much. And that's a very thought-provoking topic, all right. There's so many things that we need to be grateful for. I think basically all that you need to focus on in life are the blessings that you have. We tend to get swayed by the humdrum of life, by the rat race in pursuit of something which we need to achieve, and we never see what we have in front of us. So over the years, I've just learned that to really have a fulfilling life, to have that feeling of happiness, fulfillment, it's very important to develop gratitude, to look at the smaller things that we have around us, to pay focus on them, and also to be a source of joy for others. So when you are contributing towards the betterment of the society, to the people around you, making your environment a little more happier, joyful, lighter, you are actually making your own life simpler. So this is something that I've learned over the period of time, that we need to first focus on this ourselves, and then also we need to tell others to pay conscious attention towards being more grateful, towards being more kind, towards being more reflective, because that is how you are actually achieving more in life. If you stop thinking about what you have, you will never be happy, and you will always be in pursuit of something which you don't know. It's just a mirage that you are running after. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Asma. I don't think I could have spoken better than you at all if I had continued for another 6 months in Toastmasters. That was such a wonderful speech full of information and encouragement. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. My next participant, I would like to invite a well-known Toastmaster, Jaya Jaggi. Are you with us?
Yes, Toastmaster Meher. Again, I was not expecting this, just like Dr. Asma. I think ladies are tired of listening to my views. I would appreciate if I listen to others' views.
No, we are never tired of listening to reviews, and it's lovely to speak to you again. Toastmaster Jaya, I have a great question for you. Let me just get it going. All right, here we go. Toastmaster Jaya, your topic is, who is the most interesting person you've met on your travels? Who is the most interesting person you've met on your travels? Toastmaster Jaya Jaggi.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. I travel daily to my office, then back to my home. And on weekends, I travel to Toastmasters meeting. And on vacations, I travel to far-flung areas just to enjoy nature and to get out of this monotonous life. And I meet many people. But I have never thought who is the most interesting person, because every person is unique. Every person shares something interesting with me. I get to learn so many things, as everyone has his or her own individual life experiences. But one person I really want to mention over here is, any guesses? My own self, because every travel shows me another side of my personality. If I'm traveling to my office, I got to know that I get excited over such things and I stumbled over such things. When I was traveling alone to Sawat, I got to know, oh, Jia, you are afraid of darkness. When I was traveling in winters to Quetta, I got to know, oh, Jia, you are afraid of cold as well. You don't like it. And every travel has actually helped me to explore my own personality in a better way. And I would rather say I am obsessed with my own personality. Though I have many darker sides that I really want to get rid of, that are definitely not immaculate, but still I love my own self. Do you know why? Because if I will not love my own self, how would others see that spark in you? And then only if you love yourself, you are able to see the love inside other humans. Then only you are able to help others to grow stronger and better. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya. That was such a unique twist on the topic. I loved your answer. And yes, truly, probably because we are looking at ourselves, we are the most interesting people to ourselves, our inward journey. I love that. I would like to invite as our next participant, Sayyida Maria, Toastmaster Maria from Youth Toastmasters. It's so lovely to have you here. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you, dear. So I have a wonderful topic for you that I would like to hear from you about. And here is the topic. My topic for you is, what will you remember the most about the past year? What will you remember the most about the past year? Toastmaster Maria.
Okay, so thank you, Table Topic Master, for calling me and giving me such a nice topic. Well, my topic is, what would you remember of the past year? Well, when it would be 2021, I would remember the trip of Thatta and Makli, which we went on last week on Saturday. And you know what? It was a bit sad trip because I have meeting a few Toastmasters on alternate Saturdays. And because our trip was held on Saturday, I can't attend it. And you know what were my roles? I was playing the role of journal evaluator and prepared speech. It's such a big role, and I have to leave that role. And I was feeling so sad about that. Now, what I remember of past year is I went to McDonald's and I went to McDonald's drive-through and it was a nice experience for me because I visited that I visited drive-through for the first time and I have just watched drive-through in on YouTube. And that's what I will miss, how I still miss about that. One more thing I remember of past year is I joined Toastmasters in November 16th. And it was so nice and I was called on the stage and you know what? It was so sad because I just spoke for 49 seconds. And you know what was my topic? It was what is your favorite game? And you know, it's such an easy topic. I'm just feeling so shame right now because I cannot speak on that topic. I just told about that what games I love. Even I can speak on games. And that's it. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Wow, Toastmaster Maria, you really had me hooked. I think your table topic speech was the most immaculate of all. So interesting from start to finish. I am so inspired and wowed by you. MashaAllah, keep it up. My next participant whom I would like to call is Ms. Farah. Ms. Farah, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. So I have a topic for you that I would like to hear from you on. Your topic is, if you could have a meal with one famous personality, who would it be? If you could have a meal with one famous personality, who would it be? Ms. Farah.
That would be Maulana Tariq Jamil. Because I like him so much. He is such a spiritual spirit. He is man of a gem. He is really, really convincing personality. The way he teaches, the kindness he has, the generosity he has, I have not seen in anybody. He preaches his things in such a kind way that you have to switch yourself to him, to listen to him, towards his kindness, toward the way he teaches. I can sum up that he is also a Komal personality. When you listen to him talking on TV, you cannot switch yourself from him because he never tell you that you are doing this. This is a very big sin. You are doing this. This is a very big sin. No, he does not judge. He tells you the criteria. He tells you to compel yourself to get into it. He is not forcing you to do something, but he's telling in a very polite and nice manner. And that is, we need most of the time, we just start judging people on their looks, on other things and things. We don't give people chance. If people get to have chance to speak to things and other things, they can do it. But we are forced to judge. We are forced to pass our comments without knowing. We just see the cover of the book and just assess it. That we do. And that is the pathetic story of society. And people do it. Even everybody on their individual part can bring a change, only that could be done. And if we take the favorable things out of people, if we take this kindness, generosity, if we take this empathiness in us, empathetically, if we see things, then we will not judge people. And I think I have reached to my time. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ms. Farah. That was a very thoughtful response. I just loved your response, and it's just actually just taken me into a new frame of mind, a more serious frame of mind. So carrying on with this more thoughtful theme, I would like to call upon my next participant, who is Ms. Samrana Shahid. Ms. Samrana, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Are you with us? Okay, I think Ms. Samrana is not with us, so...
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you so much. Ms. Samrana, I have a nice topic for you. I hope you're ready. Can you pin the timer?
Can you repeat the topic because the internet connectivity issue, so I was not able to hear.
Yes, I have not shared the topic yet. I'm just going to share it. Can you please pin the timer? Toastmaster Arusa.
Arusa, okay.
Okay, all right, here we go. Ms. Samrana, your topic is, what has had the greatest impact on your life, good or bad? What has had the greatest impact on your life, good or bad? Ms. Samrana.
Thank you for this opportunity. Good evening, dear ladies. First of all, I'm very happy to see you all. I think my students' impact on me, it's a very great. I'm basically a teacher. I'm teaching here in KSA since 2009. So whenever you are teaching your students, always you are learning a lot. When you are a student, always you learn. But when you're teaching to others, you are facing queries from your students. Sometimes your students are asking some silly questions. You are feeling that what they are asking, but actually you are learning from them. Many people are in favor of that. We are learners, we have learned, but always for life we are learning too much. Sometimes we are learning from our siblings, sometimes with our neighbors, with colleagues, everyone. But I think I have impact on me basically for my students. I love to teach them. I'm teaching from grade 4 till 9. I have different age level students, but I love to teach lower levels because they are very innocent students and always they are giving you feedback from their heart. Because mostly these age children, they are not fake, or they are not telling you bad things, or especially they are not telling a lie. They are very honest people on the earth. It's my opinion that if you want love, if you want attention, just love children. So you can get the true opinion. If you will teach them good, they will give you the true feedback. But if you will not treat them, simply they will say, teacher, you are not doing this. I don't like. So I love my students too much. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, you really spoke the words from my own heart, because as Toastmaster Vani introduced me, I myself am a teacher. And in fact, this was the #1 reason why I became a teacher, because students and children, they're just the most honest people on the planet. And you just love interacting with them because of that. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I would like to call upon my next participant, who is Ms. Uzma. Ms. Uzma, are you with us? Okay, I think Ms. Uzma is not with us. So can I please have Ms. Sidra?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is Toastmaster Sidra, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, all right, carrying on with the theme. I hope you can see Toastmaster Arusa.
Yes, I can. Yes.
All right. Great. So carrying on with the theme, as we were talking about teaching and students, I would like to ask you, who was your most interesting teacher? Who was your most interesting teacher, Toastmaster Sidra?
Luckily, in last meeting, I delivered a speech on the same topic that my best mentor, and I discussed my teacher there as well. It's a luck that again I'm going to speak about her. And the only figure I have in my life, he is my teacher, Professor Dr. Asim Mahmood. He is the teacher and the dean in GC University, Faisalabad. Basically, I'm also from Faisalabad, but nowadays I'm doing job in Lahore. But whatsoever I am, whatsoever is my introduction and the things I want to include in my introduction, that's just because of my teacher. He is a marvelous personality, a wonderful figure. You can say a father-like figure for me. When my father passed away, he just came to me, and so many people asked me at that time that Sidra, we are with you. Please tell us whatsoever you feel, and we will be helping for in any form. But Sir Asim was the one who kept his promise. And he is just whensoever I say something in my class, and I every time you can't imagine this, that I joined this club because of my teacher, that I would tell him that sir, I'm doing this, and I joined this because I'm also running the society, essay and debating society in my university, and I also was wanting to improve my spoken skills. That's why I joined this club. And the thing that was in my mind just was only I will tell to my teacher that sir, I am doing this for my students, but I will always be your student. And I'm also doing PhD, and I was wanting to doing my PhD in GC University, but my bad luck, or you can say some other things, that I couldn't secure my admission there, so I took admission in Malaysia. So but whatsoever that person is, and the best thing is in his personality, that he's not biased. Whatsoever he's doing, he's giving it. For example, when I started the job, I was the visiting faculty in GC University, and I was a junior most there. But whenever the semester starts, he just puts the document in front of the teachers, and he says who is the most junior, he will select the subjects first. And the teachers who are teaching, you people can imagine that the seniors ones always, they rule in the department, and they say we will take the subject first, and then the juniors will take, and the rest subjects, those who they don't like, they just offer to the juniors. But sir maintains this tradition every time, and he says that juniors always have the right, they first will choose the subjects, then the others. And he is also he also polishes the extra curricular skills of the students as well. Means I was a very negative person honestly speaking, before teaching, and he's the person who struggled a lot for me, and my job in Beacon House school system, my job in university, my job in everywhere, he was with me. He always conducted a mock interview for me, that you will play in your interview like this. He's a wonderful figure, and thank you so much that you give me this topic, that due to you, I am able to discuss that person on many platforms. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sidra. I think rather we should thank you for a wonderful mentor. I feel inspired, and I'm actually really feeling inside. I'm just being drawn into your life stories and the honesty that is coming out. It's just making it all so much more wonderful and heartwarming.
Thank you.
I would like to thank you. I would like to call upon Ms. Humaira next as my next participant. Ms. Humaira, are you with us? Or I believe she has been disconnected. Okay. Can I please have Toastmaster Sarah? Toastmaster Sarah, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello there. Welcome.
Thank you. You got me.
Okay, Toastmaster Sarah, let's move a little bit away from the seriousness that we have gotten into, just have a little bit of fun. So the topic that I have for you is, think about it. If you could commit one crime and get away with it, what would it be? If you could commit one crime, one only, and get away with it, what would it be? Toastmaster Sarah.
Well, I think you should have given me choice for more than one crimes. because we are always trying to be very good and civil, in our everyday routines. But when it comes to crime, honestly, I cannot think of any particular crime, but sometimes I do feel like killing somebody and get away with it. And really, honestly, like I sometimes I say, if killing was allowed, so I would have killed that person and that person. I might be sounding very horrible at the moment, but that's true. And apart from that, I would have liked to loot a bank, and would have gotten away with that easily. I wish I could do that. And apart from that, I think these are quite two big crimes. But still, since you have given me a choice, so I can take the liberty. So I'm trying to take the liberty uh, to be more criminal and getting away with everything. Yeah, one more thing. I would like to be a boy and tease girls. And that's the more, yeah, that I should have told you at the first thing. I always wanted to be a boy, just to tease girl and stare at them and do the ogling. Oglings from head to toe, how they look, how do they scan you. I always want to do that. So, and get away with that very easily. So that are a few crimes I would like to do. Thank you. Over to you, Table Topic Masters.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarah. I believe you're a Toastmaster, yes. I am blown away by your responses. And no, I can relate. I think everyone is wanting to kill somebody at one point in their time. Maybe not more, just one. I mean, yeah, I limited you, but thank you for going on and explaining all your inner feelings. It has really been cathartic for me as well. And yes, I love the last crime that you mentioned. So would I. I would like to call as my last participant. I'm sorry, we don't have enough time for more, although I'm really loving this and I wish it would never end. I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Noreen, who invited me to this forum. And as my way of saying thank you, I would like to choose her as the last participant of the Table Topics Forum. Okay, Toastmaster Noreen, I have a great one for you. Toastmaster Noreen, yes. I would like to ask you, who is the best boss you have ever worked for? Who is the best boss you have ever worked for, Toastmaster Noreen?
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Table Topic Master, for asking me such a very interesting question. Well, I have worked in different organizations, and I think while working with different bosses, I have different experience. Well, today I'm going to share the experience of mine working in WWF, where I've served for 6 months. And I think it was these 6 months were very amazing for me. And my boss was very supportive and cooperative with me, and he helped me a lot in learning new things. And he always helped me in believing myself that I can do. He helped me in providing different opportunities to serve in different projects related to environment. And he never actually judged me. He never criticized me in front of other, we can say, my other colleagues. As we all know, there are some people who have the ability, who have the trait that they actually insult women in front of large number of audience, in actually to show that they cannot work. But he was a man who actually respected all women and he always tries to help for women empowerment, actually tries to help women so that they can work in the office and they can actually excel in their professional life. So he was a man, I think I can say that he was the best boss during my entire professional life. So I still respect him, I salute him. Thank you, Miss Table Topic Master.
A round of applause for Toastmaster Noreen and all the participants who were good sports and participated in this table topic session. I loved it. I love being Table Topic Master, and I wish it would never end. But as time constraints go, I must we must say goodbye, all good things come to an end. And so I hand over the floor back to Toastmaster of the day, our energetic and vibrant and lively Toastmaster Vanya. Over to you, Toastmaster Vanya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meher. That was Toastmaster Meher Tanviri, one of the most amiable people I know in the Toastmaster family. What a marvelous session. I wish I could participate, but I could not, sadly. Okay, so next we have the general evaluation session, for which I would like to call Toastmaster Sidra Ahmed. Toastmaster
Toastmaster
Sidra.
Vanya, could you do the voting for the table topic session, please?
Yes, thank you so much for reminding. First of all, let us know if all the speakers have qualified.
Yes, all except guest. I don't know if she's guest or Toastmaster Sidra. She was
All
overtime.
right.
Except for her, everyone's qualified. So we have Dr. Asma, Toastmaster Jaya, then we have Gavelia Maria, Miss Farah, Miss Samrana, Miss Sarah, and Toastmaster Noreen.
All right, so ladies, please vote for the best table topic speaker, and we will be sending your votes through private chat to Toastmaster Adisha. All right, meanwhile we do that, let's head on to the general evaluation session. And for that, we will be having Toastmaster Sidra Ahmed.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vanya. So first, I want to congratulate to all the participants who presented the prepared speeches. Then I would like to tell you that we had three prepared speeches and three evaluators. The first prepared speech was delivered by Miss Arusa Kamal, and the speech is evaluated by Toastmaster Iram. She is basically a university lecturer. She has a very commendable profile. She is MBA and also MS in marketing. She is also graduate in Darsin Nizami. I would like to invite Iram. Please evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Arusa Kamal.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sidra Ahmed. Please confirm I am audible enough.
Yes, you are. Please carry on.
All right, Jazakallah. First of all, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Arusa Kamal for presenting her speech from Pathway Presentation Mastery. It was her level 3 speech, and in the name of Connect with the Storytelling, and her title was Barriers Are Equal to Fear. The purpose of her project is to give a speech having some story. Toastmaster Arusa delivered a well-structured and well-organized speech. Toastmaster Arusa, you started your speech with a story of a child who was trying to combat with an invisible barrier, that is the language barrier, and then you built a smooth transition and narrated your own experience, your mother expectations, your observation of school groups based on language, and then you linked your story with expectation of society and peer pressure. Your spoken language was very clear. Eye contact was, camera was there. You engaged your audience by mentioning the well-known barrier, which is the barrier of speaking English language, which brings fear in almost everyone's mind because definitely it's not our mother tongue. This barrier converts into fear when we analyze that according to the society, speaking English has become somewhat a status symbol, especially nowadays. I want to highlight some gray areas. I missed hand gestures, or perhaps due to placement of camera, I could not notice them. I would like to suggest that please try to deliver your speech while standing. so the evaluator may notice your full body or your entire gestures. I missed voice modulation a bit and tried to bring some thrill in your story. And I missed energy level a bit. And although it was a wonderful narration of barriers as fear using storytelling skills in a well organized and well structured manner. Wishing you all the best for your upcoming future speeds and projects. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Iram. It was a very wonderful evaluation. Definitely, the evaluation tells us about the which areas we have overwhelmed and on which areas we need to work on. And the next speech was delivered by Asma Campwala, and the speech was evaluated by Ms. Toastmaster Rabia. Basically, she has done her MBA and with this specialization of finance. She is Sergeant at Arms of Ravi Toastmaster. I invite Toastmaster Rabia, please evaluate the speech.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Toastmaster Sidra. But I guess my introduction has gotten mixed up with somebody else. But that's all right. I start with, do we have Toastmaster Asma with us currently? May I ask that before I start evaluation? Okay,
I believe she left.
Yeah.
As she mentioned.
Okay. She might have left, but we are recording the session, so you can deliver the evaluation. She will listen to it afterwards.
Okay, that's great. That's it. So, ladies, what a wonderful topic it was. Personally, I love listening to it, not because of the reason that it was only for women. Toastmaster Asma had such a good grip on her topic. She knew what she was talking about, and she wasn't just addressing the issues or talking about the facts. She told us the issues in Pakistan. She told us the issues of a patient, and he told us how we can perform a role in handling the people around us. It was a very insightful topic, and she knew she was addressing women. She focused on that feminine part of the cancer part. Now, what I felt was missing a story and a connection. We're all Toastmasters here, and we come here to share ourselves. Newspapers, television media are filled with facts that we listen to every day. But when we are talking about our personal lives, we are to share a story. Begin with a story, develop in something. I met a woman, or I saw a woman, and I read the story about this woman, and she was going through something called cancer. Introduce the idea you're presenting, regardless of how many times it has been introduced in the world, like a novel idea, like nobody has ever heard it before. And incorporate your emotions, the facts. When you're talking about the 36.8% women suffer from breast cancer, you show it through your voice. Enjoy it with vocal variety. Maybe cry a little. Tell the people how you feel on that thing. And that will attract the audience so much more that they won't listen to you with their brains. They'll start listening to the speaker from their own hearts. Again, one more thing that was missing was the body language and the attraction. I felt as if I were back in a classroom and listening to my teacher. But the topic was so much more interesting that I wanted for Toastmaster Asma to engage me more by either asking me a question, by either making me think about a topic. What would I have done if my mother had breast cancer? What would I have done if I had found out that I was the one with cancer? Things like that that engage your audience well are really good option to talk to your audience. In the end, what I would like for her to do is a challenge. And that challenge is to use this evaluation in the next speech she delivers. And not a factual one, but a one where she tells us something about herself, her life, and her personal story. Because I would really love to get to know Toastmaster Asma more than I did today. Over to you, Toastmaster Sidra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia. Next speech was delivered by Toastmaster Aruj, and this speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Anam Kadri. She is from Karachi Toastmasters Club. I invite you, please evaluate this speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sidra. Balancing life. Toastmaster Aruj, you started off really nice. It was a grasping beginning. It took the audience attention from the line one, how you introduced your guests so warmly and with such nice words. Even it was so respectful, it was so intriguing, and it was extremely inspiring to know that, okay, we are going to listen, the next words we are going to listen are from such great panelists, and we are sure that we are going to get something out of that. And we did. It was a very good panel discussion, excellently timely managed, well presented with relevant questions and inspiring questions, something that we can take with us today, that we can implement in our lives, something that can bring a positive change in our life. Everything was well organized. The content was really nice, from asking the questions to answering them. Everything was so fruitful. The only thing that I found was that when you went on from your first phase of questions to the second one, I didn't find much of the connection between the first and the second one. Although the questions were really nice and I loved them, it would have been more of it would have been looked more of an interview or a panel discussion if you could have sorted out the content from the first question and used that in your second ones, so that it would have been a continuity from the first phase of questions to the second one. Nevertheless, it was still very interesting, TM Aruj. Secondly, since you were sitting down, I couldn't see your hand gestures and your body movement. Although I enjoyed your facial expressions, and I could connect that yes, these are the questions that could have given the relevant gestures. They were there in your face. I could see that in your face, but then I couldn't see your hands moving like this. It would have added a better impression, a more warmly welcome impression. Overall, it was a really nice panel discussion. I enjoyed it a lot. Best of luck for your future endeavors. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. All the evaluations were very spot on. And I also request to all the audience, please vote for the best evaluator and for the efforts, the dazzling effort they put for this evaluation. Thank you. Please vote for the best evaluator.
Can you please repeat the names?
The prepared speeches were delivered by Toastmaster Arusa. Evaluator, sorry. Toastmaster Iram, Toastmaster Rabia, and Toastmaster Anam. Meanwhile, I request to the evaluator of tribal topic, Ms. Meher. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrect. Ms. Meher Tanveer, please, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I believe the table topics evaluator was another Toastmaster, but if you want me to do it, I can do it.
Toastmaster Ramwa is the table topic evaluator.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, it is I you are seeking. Fellow Toastmasters, immaculate ladies, it was a pleasure listening to all of you and your table topics, and I learned something or the other from everyone. So first off, we had Dr. Asma Shahid, who was giving her speech on what do you feel are the most important things to have a good life. And what I really liked about her is that she is oozing of wisdom, and we could, tell that she has a perfect flow of words, even from her prepared speech. However, I think we could get a little more of Dr. Asma if she had her camera open. It's okay, she wasn't ready, so that completely makes sense. Next, we had Toastmaster Jaya, who was talking about the most interesting person that she had met on her travels. And she had a very unique perspective. It was her. We could see that there was so much self-love coming out of that speech. There's just one, I think, and also the gestures and flow of words were really good. There's just one point of improvement, which was when you said, any person can guess who that is. So that was a question, right? So maybe if you pause there, it would have more of an impact. Maybe you could even have some, feedback from the audience. Then we had Cavalier Maria. So happy to see you over here. What will be the most memorable thing of this past year? I thought you would talk about COVID, but you talked about everything that was positive. And I think your gestures and flow were really good. So you just need to keep coming. Farah Khalid, one person you could spend time with, you answered directly. It was like you were waiting for someone to just ask that question from you. The flow of speech was really good. Once again, opening your camera would help us really see your gestures. Toastmasters Samrana, greatest impact that a person has had on your life, good or bad. So what I really liked is that you had a greeting, and other people did forget the greeting, and I would recommend that we all try to greet, because that's a Toastmaster thing. You did speak from the heart, but opening your camera, once again, like others, would really help us see the full spectrum of Toastmasters Samrana. Toastmaster Sidra, who was your best teacher? There was this person who was really who really contributed positively to your life. I loved you were speaking from the heart. We could tell that the flow of speech was really good. Once again, I couldn't see you, so I can't comment on other features, and I would really like to see you in the next meetings physically without because we could just hear your voice. Toastmaster Sarah, yes, if you could commit one crime. So I think this was a really interesting speech because you did not have any filters on. It was really quirky. Really enjoyed the tone of your speech. Toastmaster Noreen, who is the best boss you ever worked with? So I really enjoyed that your speech was very layered. So you had an introduction where you said, I've had all of these experiences. I've had all of these types of bosses. So that's how you actually, you don't answer a table topic question right away because you have 2 minutes. So you need to have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. So you did the right thing with having an introduction. I did feel, however, that if you put in more gestures and body language, it would really take your speech to the next level. So with that, I hand over the charge to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much. I hand over the charge to Toastmaster Vania for taking the note of words and the roles played by other Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sidra. Will you be taking the reports from the facilitators? Toastmaster Sidra?
Yes, please.
You will be taking the reports from the facilitators, the grammarian, wordmaster, vote counter, counter.
No, please. I'm not receiving any report.
You will be calling them and then. All right. So Toastmaster Arusa, should I do it or should I let Toastmaster do it on you?
Toastmaster Vania, you can do it.
All right. So let's have the report from Toastmaster Iram Gayas, who was the word master for this session. Toastmaster Iram. You will have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Yes.
Toastmaster Vania, thank you. Word of the day had been used by many of the pink wonderful ladies, and I want to confess something that I forgot to note down their name. I become so engaged in listening all the wonderful ladies and table topics, etc., that I forgot to note down the name of the ladies, the wonderful ladies who used this particular word. So, but I noticed that I think 4 or 5 wonderful ladies, they used this word. word of the day.
All right. I believe all of us used it. I
Yes,
believe I
I
heard this
think
word
I
come from
used it
almost
twice.
everyone.
They use the
Yes.
word.
Ladies, have a round of applause for yourselves. Next, we will have the report from our grammarian, Toastmaster Arisha Ahmed.
Thank you so much, Vania. Well, overall, the report is really good. Everyone did a marvelous job. All three prepared speakers did a great job, and there were no grammatical errors, and it was just perfect. So good job, ladies. Moving on to the table topic session. Everyone did a great job. There were no grammatical errors, even though it was all just, spur of the moment, but still well done. Although I would like to correct one thing, it was a phrase, it's gem of a man. That's all I need to correct. Other than that, the evaluators did a great job. Toastmaster of the day, everyone. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arisha. Next, we have our super grammarian, Toastmaster Aruka.
All right, so I'd like everyone to unmute their mics so they can participate. And I will be calling out some phrases and I'd like you guys to guess who said what. So who used the phrase justification of skills?
Rabia Pasha.
Yes.
No?
Yes. And looks like only you were listening. My time, my time and the children's time.
Ajay Rabia Pasha?
Yes, analyst.
She was the
And I think this phrase was used by more than one people.
Yes.
Yes, Miss Gul, I think.
No. Dr. Asma, yes.
Yeah.
Then you have to earn that plate.
Miss Gul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there was someone, I love myself.
Toastmaster Jaya.
Yeah.
Relatable.
We all should.
Then we are forced to judge.
Toastmaster Sara?
Let me think of the name. The one responding to the table topic.
Yes, Toastmaster Farah, was it?
Yes.
Who wants to have dinner with Mullah Tiger?
Yes.
Yes, great.
Okay, then there was a father-like figure.
Toastmaster Sidra?
Toastmaster Sidra.
Yes, Toastmaster Sidra. Then there was someone who wanted to loot a bank.
TM Sara.
Toastmaster Sara.
One did a crime.
Yes, over to you, Toastmaster Vanya.
Thank you so much. That was very interesting. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arusa. Next, we will be having a report from the lady who wants to loot the bank, Toastmaster Sara Naseem, the A counter.
Thank you
How
so
many
much.
A's did you loot?
Yeah, I tried a lot. Actually, I was listening very actively. And overall, it was very immaculate. I would say that ladies were speaking so immaculately. It was so beautiful. I was actually surprised. This was my everyone's first only ladies meeting, and I've been a counter for quite many times. And in the beginning, I kind of thought to put aside the paper because I thought there are going to be no ahs and ums. It looks to me like that. But later on, I came across a few. So I would just, these are ums and ahs, so both. So I'll just give the number. TM Iram Riaz had 2. TM Asma Kamfala had 18. TM Rabia had 3. TM Aruj Rahat had 4. TM Anam Kadri had 1. TM Fajr Rabia had 8. TM Gulzeba had 5. Dr. Asma Shahid had 4. TM Meher Tanveer had 4. Farah Khalid had 2. And Rahma had 3. That's all from my side. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sara Naseem. All right, next we will be having a report from the timer, and she will be telling us how long people took during speeches and table topic.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vanya. Well, during the prepared speeches, I did not time the first two speeches, but I was told that they were qualified. Then Toastmaster Arooj's speech that took around 25 minutes. The table topics, Dr. Asma took 1 minute 25 seconds. Toastmaster Jaya took 1 minute 55 seconds. Gavilia Maria took 2 minutes 9 seconds. Ms. Farah Khalid took 2 minutes. Samrana took 1 minute 56 seconds. Toastmaster Sidra took 3 minutes 35 seconds. Toastmaster Sara took 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Noreen took 1 minute 43 seconds. As evaluators, Toastmaster Iram took 2 minutes 34 seconds. Toastmaster Rabia Khan took 2 minutes 49 seconds, and Toastmaster Anam took 2 minutes 26 seconds. And the table topic evaluator took 3 minutes 37 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster Vanya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arusa. And now that we are done with the reports, we will be having the voting done for Big Four. And the Big Fours are Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Vanya Basi, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Meher Tanveer, Table Topics Evaluator, Toastmaster Rahma Unib, and General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sidra Ahmed. And you will be sending your votes to Toastmaster Arisha via private chat. Please do so. And with this, and with a heavy heart, I will be handing over the charge to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Arusa. And ladies, you must have dropped something. Please look down. Is there something lying down? Take a look. Oh, that's your crown. Pick it up and put it up back on your heads. All right. So ladies, the women who invest in themselves go further. And we all have invested together. So imagine how further we will go. So with that, I would like to conclude and hand over the charge to Toastmaster Arusa.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vanya. This was a really wonderful session, although it was just planned, I think, 3 weeks ago. And what I've learned in this session is that every lady or every member in Toastmasters, and even with outside Toastmasters, our wonderful panelists, they are much more accomplished than what we are made out to be. We are much more polished than we are made out to be. And that is something we can talk about more. We can maybe market more. So here is a thought. Maybe from next session, we can keep a small 2 to 3 minutes speech session where we can talk about our achievements that we have, maybe something that we have achieved during the month, during the week. So we are discussing things, and we can put that out on our Pink Hats Facebook page as well. So I'd like your thoughts about it. What do you think? Should we be adding something like that? Toastmaster Jaya is all right. So from the next meeting, we'll be putting that section there. You guys are welcome to add or partake basically in that session. We'll discuss it a little bit, and we'll let you know how we can proceed with that. So with that, let's adjourn the meeting, this meeting, and probably tentatively 20th December next month we'll be meeting.